Very awesome.
Hi there, my name is Duduzile Tibane. I'm a talent officer at a software development company called Psybergate. With me are the devs, the interns at Psybergate. So guys, the reason that we have this meeting is because I want to learn more about your experience thus far in the graduate program. Please just introduce yourselves, tell me more about your background, which course, which qualification you have, and when you completed your studies. And then tell me more about your experience with Psybergate.
Hi guys, my name's Fato. I've been at Psybergate for the past 4 months and I'm enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
Currently, I'm still an intern at Psybergate. We haven't been deployed yet. We're still in the room. I finished my studies last year. Amid a whole pandemic, imagine, but story for another day. Finished my studies last year. I was studying BSc General, but I majored in computer science and information systems from the University of Witwatersrand, one of the best.
My name is Philip, and I'm an intern at Psybergate. I graduated last year at the University of Witwatersrand, right?
Yes.
Number one of University
Number
Africa.
one.
Number
Hey,
one.
number
That should be
one.
STEM.
One
Should be
time.
STEM. I was doing this double major, computer sciences and computer sciences.
Got that. Talk
Only
to
for
him,
the
bro.
real G's.
Nice.
Only for the real G's.
Only the real cheese tag.
And wow, Psybergate is just something else, you know. It's just another world.
My name is Simpiwe. I'm also from the University of Witwatersrand. Sheesh, my backstory is very long, but to put it short, we here.
Yeah.
We here, computer science graduates. Let's
Yeah.
learn. Let's thrive in our IDE.
Hi guys, I'm Suhail. My backstory is quite different from the others. I actually studied chemical engineering at the real number one university in Africa, UCT. And I did my postgraduate at WITS, Masters in Chemical Engineering as well. I realized that wasn't really where my interests aligned, and my cousins actually introduced me to Cybergate. I got the pleasure of talking to Chris and Gina, whom most people viewing this video will get to know very, very well. And yeah, they convinced me to do a VAC program. And a few months later, I caught myself applying for the graduate program that we are all currently in. We're about, April, so like 3 months down the line. So halfway through our graduate program, and it's going pretty good so far. 3 more months to go, I guess, before we get to dive into some real work.
Simpiwe, just tell me, since when are you no longer on campus, please tell me about your experience so far with Cybergate. How do you find Cybergate?
Yo, Cybergate is fun. I just love interacting with the grads. They're just showing me these new perspectives, and I'm like soaking up a lot of good energy from the grads, you know. It's just nice being in the room. You know, that energy has been keeping me going. But yo, we gotta slow down. Can we slow down? Wow. Yeah.
And Suhail, how did you find the job search, the journey of your job looking for employment? Because I mean, unemployment is one of the issues that we're facing as a country. So I think you guys, I don't know if you had any challenges, but then I would just want to learn about some of those challenges and how you actually found Cybergate to be attractive among all the other companies that are out there.
I'd say, yeah, absolutely. I have first-hand and second-hand experience with unemployment. After my undergrad degree, I struggled to find a job for a few months. And then eventually I did land a job as a consultant, a management consultant at a company in Johannesburg. And while doing that job, I actually did some due diligence for an international company. And in that, I had to make a study of the unemployment in South Africa. And I don't think it comes to anyone's surprise when we have possibly the highest unemployment rate in the entire world. I was fortunate enough to be in another coding environment job, and it was a 6-month contract. And as soon as Psybergate told me that I have been enlisted or accepted into their program, I literally the very next day handed in my resignation, because I knew what a great opportunity this would be to work with Psybergate, to work with Chris in particular. Just the amount I could learn, coming in from someone who, the class knows I mention this all the time, coming in with no experience whatsoever in coding prior to a year ago. I think in these 3 months, I'm already, I wouldn't say a good developer by any measure, but I mean, I am capable of coding, basic systems. And that's just owed to Cybergate, Ashraf, Gina, and Chris alike.
That's nice. Tokofato, I mean, and I know that you told me about, you did highlight on how you find Cybergate. You found Cybergate in the last 3 months, but then I just want to hear from you. What kind of environment do you think Psybergate is, and how are you finding the graduate program? How would you describe the graduate program, if I may?
Before I answer that question, I just want to say, like, the hiring process from Psybergate is really nice, because I applied to a lot of graduate programs. Most of them didn't even reply, right? Psybergate kept constant communication with us throughout, and the tests that they gave out, the coding challenges they had were actually fun to do. So as I was doing them back then, I was getting more drawn into Psybergate because I realized that I enjoy solving these problems, and it seemed, well, it is the case even, that they are a software company, right, that solves problems, but they're also a people's company. With that said, the environment is collaborative in nature, and it's also nurturing. So we grow a lot from technical to professional skills. Yeah, that's how it describes Psybergate.
Okay, that's nice. And how much, I mean, I know that you guys are full-time. You are in the mentorship program and training for like 6 months. It's going to be 6 months, right? And it's a full-time program. And I've heard that it's going down. I heard that it's going down. But then I just want to know how much feedback. I mean, you're constantly in class, like Suhail mentioned, that you're being trained, you don't do anything on the job as yet because they're still upskilling you guys. But I just want to understand, like, I just want to ask how often do you get feedback from your team members, from the mentorship, from the person who's actually mentoring you guys? How much feedback are you guys getting?
We get constant feedback, like literally on a daily basis. We get feedback, because what happens like inside the room is that we show each other code, right? So sometimes even after the meetings we have with Chris, right, and as interns, we come together and show code, and then we also discuss how to write better code, right? It's too much. It's too valuable. Like, it's not often that you get to expose the code that you write. Many developers write code in hiding. They never show their code, and showing your code helps you grow a lot. And that's the beauty, because like, we always get feedback. Sometimes it doesn't, when someone says it feels like they're attacking you, but they're not. They're just bettering you. Yeah.
The way they deliver their feedback, man, it's awesome, because they're giving you a constructive criticism over sweet, like sugarcoating.
Sugarcoated, yeah.
You don't sugarcoat anything. Yeah. If your thing is crap, it's crap. They call it out crap.
Yeah.
No
You gotta practice detachment from your code.
Yeah, like at first it's like they don't even care about you. And no. That's actually tough love right there.
Yeah.
Actually what's building us,
It's beautiful, bro. Virtual work is amazing.
Bruh. And then I get to, in the morning, come through and say to the guys, hey, look what I did. And now with the way they give feedback, I don't have to feel bad about, making a mistake. Sometimes my mistakes are correct. Sometimes my mistakes need correcting.
Yeah.
and these guys are always there. Sheesh, that's dope.
What's the one thing that you would actually, you wish you had known before you started working with Psybergate, about Psybergate?
I can't answer this one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bang.
This is
This is
actually a
a
tough one, I
real
won't
one.
No,
This is a tough one. I won't lie.
I can't answer this because I saw the fruits of my boy's labor, and I was like, "Wow, this is nice. I want that."
Literally
So
the
I
same.
didn't ask questions. I just
Yeah.
went, and right now I'm
Yeah.
here, and I'm asking, "What? Huh? What is this?" You know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And the nice thing is that my boy Muteo, whenever he felt good, he showed it, and our way was just, chilling as gents. But it was, it looked like it was less stressful for him after he rocked with Cybergate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this man's
Also,
shoulders are lighter,
to,
and I feel it.
to add on that, like, so we have the same friend, and I just saw the growth. Even the questions he randomly asked us, while we just chilling
Yo,
as gents. It's like,
this guy stimulated my thinking,
what
dog.
defines equality? Like we're randomly chilling, and he just asked what defines equality, and then you realize maybe I was just studying to pass, instead of studying to remember and to understand. Because he was like
Yeah.
inside, like from last year, right? Looking at, you could see that what we're studying was being applied. So that's one thing that also drew me here.
Yeah. And then um, it just felt like a risk worth taking. I felt at ease applying, and the application process, as Fatso said, it was smooth. Those problems were fun.
So guys, without
That
I don't want to keep you any longer. I just
Whoa.
want to know,
Oh,
what
it's two.
advice
Whoa.
would you give? What advice would you give to a young person who's actually interested in software development?
If you're a Java
I
dev,
don't know.
you don't know as much as you think you know, eh? That's my first one.
oh,
So try
when I
try
left varsity, I thought I knew Java until I came to
same,
Cybergate.
bro, same. As a software dev, you should understand the tools that you have, and the biggest tool is your programming language. Second one is programming theory, because besides the language, if you understand what programming theory is, from object-oriented programming, functional, and all these, you'll be able to, how can I put it, learn a new language at any time, you'll be able to grow more skills quicker.
Don't focus on enjoying yourself right now, per se. It is fun,
Exactly.
don't get me wrong, but
Exactly.
use these few years when you're young, when your mind is still capable of grabbing onto information and soaking it up. Use these years to learn, not necessarily to do. Because if you use these years to learn and perfect your art, I guarantee you in a few years down the line, it's going to make everything a lot easier and you yourself will become a great developer. The main philosophy I go by, I'm not entirely sure if it's said by Einstein or not, but it's definitely said by Chris Naidu a few times. Like, if you cannot explain something to a child, you do not understand the concept.
Yeah.
So if you have to
Yeah.
explain something, use technical words, try to reevaluate it, because you don't really know what's going on if you can't rephrase it in your own words and explain it to a child what's going on.
I think I asked for advice, directing it to people who aspire to be software developers. But in my position, I also learned a lot in just in just 3 minutes. I think you guys, this is the best advice. I think I'm also learning, and I really appreciate, without taking more of your time, I really appreciate the time that you took out of your busy schedules. I appreciate the fact that you actually joined me today to talk about this, and
Thank you.
you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
No,
You are
you
amazing.
too. You are amazing.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Bro,
And one of the best things about Cybergate as well is
Yeah.
you get to deal with this lady right now on your screen, Duduzile. who has been insanely helpful, I think, with any regard. She's usually, as a graduate, she's probably your first point of contact. And yeah, if you need anything done, go to this lady. She will get it done. Things that you think cannot be done, she will do it quickly and help you out.
Also,
Very,
hey,
very well.
thank you so much. I'm still in the room, by the way, so you're making me. Thank you so much.